The Iran-Iraq War raged from the 22nd of September 1980, when formal hostilities began, until the 20th of August 1988. However, there were skirmishes between the two sides as early as the 4th of September, almost 2.5 weeks earlier than the officially accepted start date of the conflict. Almost immediately after the skirmishes, Iran started bringing more and more of its F-14s back up to operational standard and preparing the American-trained crews for service. Following the Iranian Revolution, most of its 77 surviving F-14s were not operational, most of them suffering from non-functioning OMEN radars. Initially, the Iranian F-14s were heavily dependent on ground control intercept to counter the Iraqi threats. But as the weeks went by, more and more of the F-14s came up to full operational standard and could now depend on their OMEN radars. Around the 22nd of September 1980, as many as 12 F-14s were back in service and were in the air, flying combat air patrol along the Iran-Iraq border. On the 7th of September, 5 Mi-25 Iraqi helicopters penetrated Iranian airspace and started hitting ground targets. Their violation of Iranian airspace was detected by Iranian radar stations, and 2 F-14s were scrambled and vectored to intercept. After only a few minutes, the lead F-14 spotted the Mi-25 helicopter and dove in. The pilot attempted a Sidewinder lock against the heat of the ground. The Iranians were firing the Aim-9P Sidewinders that were definitely a significant improvement over the Vietnam-era Aim-9Bs and Es, but they weren't good enough to pick out a hot engine of a helicopter out of ground clutter of a hot day. The missile lost lock and flew into the ground beside the Iraqi helicopter. The Iranian Tomcat quickly came around for another pass and took another shot at the Iraqi helicopter, and once again, the Sidewinder lost track and smashed into the ground near the helicopter. The Iranian Tomcat pilot had had enough and came in for a gun run. The Tomcat pilot put the pipper over the Mi-25 and pulled the trigger, peppering the Mi-25 with 20mm rounds from his M61A1 Vulcan gun. Needless to say, the Iraqi helicopter spiraled to the ground and exploded. It was therefore an Iranian F-14A Tomcat that scored the first gun kill. Navy legend has it that some early F-14 pilots vowed to erect a monument to the first pilot who achieved a gun kill in the F-14 in a combat situation. However, it's unlikely that the Iranian pilot who shot down the Mi-25 will ever publicly unveil his true identity. A few days later, the Iranian F-14s would achieve another first, when on the 13th of September 1980, the Iranian Air Force High Command authorized the use of the Aim-54 in combat. An F-14A, flown by Major Mohammad Reza Atayi, was assigned to patrol a sector of Iranian airspace where a high volume of Iraqi aircraft were spotted in the past few days. Before long, the Iranian F-14 found an Iraqi MiG-23 and shot it down with an Aim-54 Phoenix. Thus, Iranian F-14 Tomcats became the first to score a Phoenix kill in a combat situation. The use of the Aim-54 Phoenix increased as the war went on. It's speculated that it was due to a lack of experienced radar intercept officers. As the war progressed, the F-14 crews became more confident and gained more experience, leading to an increased use of the Aim-54 during combat operations in the Iran-Iraq War. The highest scoring F-14 Tomcat pilot was Major Jalil Zandi, scoring an astonishing 11 kills during the course of the war. Iran would go on to score a total of 159 kills against Iraqi aircraft during the entire course of the war. This number is, however, criticized by the West as being inflated. Iran claims it's conservative. After the war ended on the 20th of August 1988, little was heard of Iran's F-14 fleet, with many theorizing that it was retired or only a few aircraft remained operational. In the fall of 2015, a video surfaced showing Iranian F-14s escorting Russian bombers as they flew into Syria for bombing missions. So it seems the mighty F-14 Tomcat remains operational to this day, nearly 50 years after its maiden flight on the 21st of December, 1970. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting my work on Patreon. Really helps me out when you do that. Big thank you to all of you who are already supporting the channel. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.